Let's get into it. What's it like being a wrestling dad of a girl wrestler?
Well, it's really interesting. It's really interesting, man. It's really interesting. Now, look, she's a fabulous kid. She cheerlead. So she was coming, she was around the sport. She was coming forever. And we started playing judo at Sure Thing with Andy Ruggiero. So she played judo for about 6 years and she liked that. And sixth grade, she came to me, she said, Dad, I want to go out for wrestling at Antrim. And I said, Nope, you're going to go out for cheerleading because all your friends are cheerleading. And she cheerleaded. And at the end of the year, she's like, Dad, this stinks. I hate it. I want to go out for wrestling. And I was like, all right, fine. So I let her go out. So she enjoys it. She is on top of it. We go to Vinny's. She absolutely loves Vinny, because we love Vinny and I love Vinny. He's just great. He cares for the kids. He wants to see the kids do well. And I was fortunate enough to coach both of his sons in rec. So when they were finishing up their rec, I was a rec coach in brick. So, Cecilia's there and he's so kind to her. And it's interesting. It's tough. Is very tough because you and I, you guys know, you probably could talk about it all the time. I could talk about wrestling probably all of the time. And so I really try only to talk about wrestling when I'm at Vinny's or in the car ride to Vinny's. Otherwise, I try not to talk about it because, man, I could just do it the whole time. Be like, look, your hand just has to be up and you got to get your head in and lift the leg up and cut across. You got to put that leg up. And she'll be like, Dad, we're at dinner right now, out to eat with Mom. Can we talk about something else? Like, yes, fine, fine. But you need to get your head in and get this on that stuff. So it's interesting. And the wins and losses, I don't really care about as long as she's given the effort and she does. And it puts it in a different, it doesn't put it in a different perspective because I just want her to get better. And that's the only thing we talk about is getting better. She has her own goals. She wants to do her own thing. But she wants to get better, and she's kind of taken herself there. She wrestled in the middle school states, which is like becoming a big thing. I never knew about like I knew about the middle school states, but what I mean is I didn't know it was like a big thing, and I guess now it's like a really big thing. So we went to middle school states, and she wrestled the middle school states, and she placed the middle school states. But then the next day, this was like an all-day Saturday event. The next day, she gets up and she's dressed in all of her wrestling stuff, and she's like, "Okay, we got to go." I'm like, "Where are we going?" She's like, "Well, we got to go to Vinny's. We got practice at 10." I'm like, "Okay, like we're going." Like I would have gave her the day off if she said, "Okay." She wrestled a bunch of matches. She did well. I would have been okay with it, and she wanted to go. So I was like, "Go," and right now I'm basically running Friday nights, just a free practice for girls only, no smelly boys allowed. And it's growing. You see it all over. You see it a lot in New Jersey, and I'm sure in other places it's getting big. So um, we're having fun and she's enjoying it. And I'm hoping maybe one day she can get down to states in Atlantic City and win one more match than me. That's all. Just do one more match than me and be better than me. And it shouldn't be that hard to do. So get down and win one, and I would be happy because that would be cool. So we're having fun. We're having fun.
Are you always in coach mode when she's competing, or is there when she's wrestling for the team? Is there coaches for the school?
So I was the volunteer assistant at Antrim the last 2 years. And
Okay.
the head coach was gracious enough to allow me to do all the coaching, did the paperwork, and he did the other stuff. And I'll be a volunteer at Point Beach next year. Um, at Point Beach next year, and hopefully they'll let me do some of the coaching there for the kids. And I'll share this with you guys, and you'll appreciate this. My thing was always like my high school coach, and then when I was coaching was right before you come on the mat, I shake your hand with my left hand, and then I slap you with my right. I mean, that was my coach did it, and then I did it for every year that I coached. And so Cecilia gets ready to wrestle like her first match at Antrim. And before she goes out, we're talking about this. And she's like, Dad, can't we just do like a hug or something? Like a hug. I go, what did I get myself into here? Like a hug. She's like, yeah, we'll just hug each other. I'll give you a kiss on the cheek and then I'll run to the mat. I'm like, what is going on here? I used to be a warrior and now I'm hugging you on the mat. And then she had lost like a tough bout her junior year, or sorry, her second year, seventh grade year. And it was something I was telling her not to do. And I was like, look, don't touch that. You're gonna burn yourself. But she did it. And I like, when your coach tells you about your technique and it's just the absolute wrong time for him to be telling you about what you did wrong in that match that you just lost, that you didn't do the thing that he told you, not to do. So I had her in the hallway. She's like crying. She's like, can't you just be my dad right now? Can't you just be my dad? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's fine. You're going to be okay. And like gave her a hug. And I'm like, what did I get myself into here? And I'm like, you got to have your head up when you reach up for that leg and drive across the corner. She's, can't you just be my dad? Be my dad. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry you lost. I'm sorry. We'll figure it out together. We're going to be okay. So yeah, it could be an interesting 4 years. It could be a real interesting 4 years. See what happens here.
Well, I'm excited to follow the journey.
Yeah, yeah. It's 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 gonna be interesting because like as soon as she told me she was gonna wrestle in high school, she's like, okay, I'm gonna wrestle in high school. Like the next day, I like went online, I printed out every region result for the last 3 years of the girls. I'm not kidding. I print out every state result for every weight for the last 3 years. I got a binder. I put it in a binder. I got a pencil. Then I just started getting rid of all the kids that were seniors in every year. Okay, going. All the kids that were, sophomores coming back, circle. All the kids that went to states, won rounds, went to states, didn't win matches, but are there. And like, basically I have like from like 10, whatever the lightest weight is, like 104 to 134, I have like broken down everyone, what they've done the last 3 years. And she doesn't really know that, but I know that. And I'm like looking, anytime we wrestle anybody in a tournament, I'm like, okay, that girl was in region. She won 15 bouts. And I'm like planning the whole thing. She doesn't know it, but I'm like, all right, this is what we're going to do. Scouting. I'm looking for the videos, Jimmy. I'm looking for the video.
They're out there.
Post those. Listen, you want to post a video of your kid? I'm on it. I am on it. Believe me, I have a whole YouTube thing. I'm like saving. Oh yeah, she's got a great high seat. No problem. We got it. So yeah, we'll be ready. Hopefully. The effort's there. So we'll see.